Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Our Hungry Heart. Today is going to be a little bit different. I don't have any notes. This is all just my raw thoughts about this topic. And this is something that is a really hard topic. There are so many layers, but I think that we need to begin the conversation because I don't think it's being talked about enough today in today's world. And this topic for today is the beauty standard that is putting so much pressure on so many women, on every woman, on the girls of society today, and honestly, on everyone. The beauty standard has gotten to a point where it's reaching beyond just women, and it is on everyone. And it's this crushing need to comply, to follow along with the newest trends of how to look and how to dress to be beautiful. And I think that this is very dangerous. I think that the beauty standard can really ruin your life if you let it. And I think that that's something that we don't really recognize. You know, the devil is very sneaky and he's going to try to get us to waste our life and waste our energy on something that does not matter. And not that your looks do not matter. I think that they do. I think that your looks do matter, but maybe not in the way that you were taught to value them. I think that the way that you look, the way that you dress, how you present yourself is very valuable. It tells a story about who you are, about your body, about your health, about how you respect yourself and how you take care of yourself. But I also think that if we're putting more attention, more energy into our body than we are into our soul, into changing the way that we think about our body and the way that we think about our soul, then we're going to be in trouble. What do I mean by this, right? If you are focusing more energy on your external, on how people perceive you, on how you dress, on how you appear to the world, then how you are and then how you appear to yourself, then how you appear in the eyes of God, then who he sees you as and who he is telling you that you are, then we have a misaligned priority. Before I really get into it though, what do I mean by the beauty standard, right? I think that we all have this kind of vague idea of what that means, especially if you're on social media or you are consuming any content of any kind. But basically it's this idea that there is one standard of beauty, one idea of beauty. And the difficult thing about this standard is that it's always changing. Even if you achieve it at one point, next year it's going to look different, right? One year it's this obsession with very curvy figures like the Kardashians, and then one year it's this obsession with stick figure like people. And these can both be beautiful, but oftentimes the beauty standard is focusing on one thing and exaggerating it, right? It's not like this cohesive, beautiful person that is proportionate and unique. It's some one feature that we find attractive that we obsess over and focus on. And I think this is the first thing I want to talk about today. Now that we've sort of got an idea of what the beauty standard is, right? I think one of the main issues with the beauty standard in general is that there is no one standard of beauty. Each human person is truly unique. You have a unique genetic makeup. You have a unique set of genes that create your body, your bone structure, and tell your body how to look and how to be. And to try to be someone else is a waste of you, of the unique and unrepeatable expression of who you are. And I think, again, one of the things that to me is really strange is this need to look one certain way. Like, why do we need to look one certain way? Why do we all want to actually look like replicas of each other? And I think that part of it is very human, right? When you are young, you want to dress like your friends. You want to have the same hairdos. And especially as girls, I see us doing this, you know, like me and my sisters will like dress up together and we'll match, like have matching days. And that's really sweet. And I think that there's an element of that. that is taken too far with the beauty standard. It's almost like we need to fit in, we need to prove that we're the same as other people, as maybe people who are considered conventionally beautiful or attractive. And I think that there's nothing wrong with wanting to be beautiful, first of all. I am not going to spend this episode demonizing beauty or the want to be beautiful. Beauty is an incredible expression of who God is. That's why the world is beautiful. The natural world is filled with wonders of beauty, and each human person is created beautiful. I think that the beauty standard, though, is a distortion of the beauty that we are meant to express as human people, because we are trying to recreate ourselves in the image and likeness of someone else, when you are already created in the image and likeness of God. Your purpose as a human person is not to recreate yourself in the image and likeness of someone else. It's to actually find the fullest expression of who you are meant to be with Christ. He is going to lead you to discover your own self in Him and Him in you. And that is why you are unique. Each human person is created in the image and likeness of God. And not only that, but each human person reveals a unique facet of God's face. God is revealing Himself through each human person in a slightly different way. And actually, not slightly different, in a very different way. Like, have you ever met two people who are the same? No, they have different souls. They have different likes and dislikes, different dreams, different aspirations, different understandings of everything. There's never going to be a repeat of you. And if you spend your life trying to be like someone else, you will be a waste of the beautiful thing that is you. And I really want to sit with that thought, because I understand the pressure on young women, on girls, on women in general, who I'm doing this podcast for all my women, and men are welcome, of course. I never want to give that um, that impression, but I'm doing this for the women. I want to speak directly to you, all my girls, and really let you know it is a heavy burden to carry that need, to carry the need to fit into the norms of society. And that's something I want to free you from today. You do not need to fit into the beauty standard to be beautiful. You need to actually be the best version of you. No matter how hard you try to be a good version of someone else or to fit into the beauty standard, you will never be a good version of that, because you will not be being you. In other words, you were created to be the best version of yourself, not a watered down version of somebody else. Whew. That one always gets me, because when I really start thinking about what the beauty standard is and what it means and why we have it, my mind is blown. Think about this aspect. The beauty industry is absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. I don't know how big. It's mind-blowingly big. Even if I knew a number, that would not mean anything to my mind because it was too large. And the beauty industry profits off of your insecurities. So what does it do? It sows insecurities in you. So many ads I've seen for, like, makeup or skincare or something like that is talking about something that I didn't even know I was supposed to be insecure about until I saw the ad. And then I was like, wait, is this a bad thing? Like, is this not normal? Is this something I'm supposed to fix? Because I thought it was just a normal part of being a human being. Like, I'm just the way I am. Isn't that normal? Isn't that good? Isn't that beautiful? And I really want to challenge you to examine your own insecurities, because I bet that most of them, or all of them, were taught to you by society and have no actual need to be in your life. Yeah. But I think it is important to think about what is beautiful, right? There is an objective standard of beauty, but that's just health. Everything that we find beautiful in people, like white teeth, good skin, a body that looks healthy and proportionate, is just a signal of health, right? If you see someone who is, has really good posture, even, that's really attractive because that's signaling that they have good airflow, that they have strong muscles, that they can carry themselves in a way that is healthy and good, that they have a good walking pattern. Everything is really interconnected. And at the end of the day, we are animals. What we find attractive is a signal of how healthy the other person is, right? It's crazy, right? But no matter what your body type is, or what your genetics are, or what the color of your hair, or your eyes, or your skin, or anything like that, those are all beautiful expressions of God. Those are all expressions of unique forms of beauty, and they should be embraced. I think as women especially, it's really important for us to start to realize that there is just an element of being human. You do not need to be perfect to be beautiful. You do not need to have everything about you be pristine to be beautiful. Take good care of yourself. Do things for yourself from a place of love, of genuinely wanting to be the best, most healthy version of yourself, body, mind, and soul. If you can have a really healthy mind, if you can have a relationship with Christ that is deep and rich, this entire question of the beauty standard is just going to fall away because you're going to understand yourself in relation to God, in relation to his purpose for you in this life. And that is going to be just powerful, so powerful that this whole question of like the beauty standard and do looks matter and like this and that is just going to fall away. And that's something that I'm still working on, but I've seen a lot of progress with in my life, especially these last few years. Um, yeah. Something else, just another thought. I think it's really important for women to see women and just see them face to face and to see what real skin looks like. And that's why I'm today sitting before you. I have acne. I don't know if you can see. And I just have very normal looking skin. Um, and I'm not wearing any makeup. I don't really think that makeup is good for women. I don't think that it's evil. I don't think that it's wrong, but I think that a lot of times the reason that we need it is because of these insecurities that are taught to us, and that honestly we're already beautiful. That doesn't mean that, I think that it's bad or evil. I just think it's important to think about why we need it, why we want it, because yeah, I'm done falling for the lies that society is trying to teach me about all the things that is wrong with me. I am made in the image and likeness of God. I do not want someone to tell me that because I don't know, I have acne, that I, don't have perfect posture, that don't have I'm not toned, that I'm just not valuable to society. You are absolutely gorgeous the way that you are. And I think it's really important to take care of your body. I'm not saying that. I don't want us to swing to the opposite extreme of like, eat whatever you want, don't exercise, and love your body. That's not love. That is not love. Love is discipline when discipline is from a place of love. And discipline is freedom when it is from a place of love, right? If two people are exercising and one person is doing it because they hate their body, because they don't like the way that they look right now and they want to change it, your body knows that. And, you might get where you want to be. You might change the way that your body looks, but your mind is going to be the same. Your heart is going to be the same. And so you're still going to struggle with those feelings of insecurity, of not being enough, even if you get the body that you are working towards because you're killing yourself with workouts. And what does this mean, right? This means that everything comes back to the posture of the heart. If you have a posture of curiosity towards your own body, towards your own self, to who you were created to be, you are going to begin to see the ways that you are beautiful, that you are unique. I want to challenge you to fall in love with yourself, with the way that you look. You are unique. That is beautiful. And do not waste, do not waste the human person that you are because you're chasing a version of yourself where you look like a version of somebody else. Chase the best version of yourself because you want to be the best version of yourself, not just because you want to look good, you want to be attractive. Those things are not inherently wrong in themselves. But it's really, really easy to isolate the body away from the mind and the soul and just project all of the insecurity that we have in ourselves of not being enough just onto the body. And that's where a lot of these body issues come from, right? This dysmorphia that so many young women, probably every single woman today, struggles with. This feeling of like you can't see yourself accurately and you think that your body is not beautiful. That is a lie from the devil. And I want you to treat it as such. I want you to recognize the ways that your own mind is telling you what you are and are not. Right? When you walk into the mirror, when you walk by a mirror or when you see yourself in a mirror, there we go. I want you to pay really close attention to how you feel and what you see. And I want to challenge you to spend some time looking at yourself in the mirror. And if you are struggling with that, if you're struggling with feelings of like, I challenge you to start placing some intentional thoughts around that experience. When you walk by a mirror, look in the mirror and I don't know, this sounds so funny, but I like to like smile at myself or like wink at myself when I walk by and just like, because I think that being able to like smile and almost like flirt with yourself opens the doorway. It's something that you have not experienced in the relationship with yourself yet. So it's a beautiful place to go in and start changing. Like have some curiosity for how you can feel towards yourself. Have some curiosity towards how can I feel different? How can I see myself differently? And now don't get discouraged when a lot of the negativity starts to come up. That means that you're doing it right. Don't try to resist those negative feelings. Instead, just start planting some good ones, right? When you have a thought and you don't like it and it's negative about your body, about yourself, replace it, right? So for instance, if I walk by the mirror and I'm like, ew, my hair looks weird, instead I'm just going to be like, no, I love my texture. I love my wavy hair. Even if I'm not having a good hair day, I can still say something kind about my hair. Because the mind is so silly. I think that you're brainwashed right now. You are brainwashed into believing that you are not beautiful, that you are not enough, that you need to change yourself into someone else to be beautiful, to be worthy, and that is not true. And I want to hold your hand while I say this. That is not true. And I want you to seize those thoughts and throw them in the garbage because they do not belong in a little pretty head like yours. You deserve to live a life where you feel beautiful, where you feel like you are enough because you are. And if you don't feel like you are, it's because you do not have the eyes to see it. And that is something you can change. Just as you have been taught to have insecurity about your body, you can teach yourself to have security, love, generosity, compassion towards yourself and towards your body. It's just a mindset. Everything is just a mindset. Everything is just a posture of the heart. Ask Christ to come into that place with you and reveal what he wants to reveal. He knows what's happening. He knows the wound that is in you, right? This whole body image issue is not an issue with the body. It is an issue in your heart, in your mind, that is projecting itself onto the body. What do I mean by that? I mean, For me, a lot of these deep-seated beliefs that my body is not beautiful or good or worthy is because of the underlying belief that I'm not enough, that I'm not inherently lovable. And those two things are not true. And Christ tells us that is not true. He says we are loved, we are worthy, we are His. We are His beloved. And He is so in love with us that He decided to create us. He holds us in love at every moment. And when I started to learn about these things, when I started to learn about what Christ says about us, about our bodies, I was just utterly blown away with how different that is from how I was seeing myself. And that's when I knew I really needed to do some deep praying and thinking about this wound. Okay, before I let you go today, I want to leave some practical steps that you can do to actively change the way that you see your body and the way that you move through the world with these feelings, okay? Especially if you're in a place where maybe you're struggling, or maybe you just want to renew your eyes. You want to have some fresh eyes to see your body with, right? Okay, number one, I want you to look at art, okay? Because if you look at medieval art of women, man, we do not fit the beauty standard. In the medieval ages, if you take the people then and you look at them and you put them, the women, right, who they painted because they thought that they were the absolute pinnacle of beauty. And they're like, wow, this woman is going to last forever and be eternally remembered because she's perfect, right? And we compare those women to the women that are today considered perfect and beautiful. And let's just be honest, they're both beautiful, and they're all beautiful because women are beautiful. Um, you will see that the medieval women do not fit the beauty standard today, and I mean by a long shot. In fact, they have attributes that we actively think are flaws, right? Like they have these like massive foreheads, and like these a very like thin, but then they have a tummy, right? Because the medieval men, the medieval culture thought that this was beautiful, that it was very beautiful to have a very high forehead. In fact, the women would pluck their hairs to have high foreheads. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness. Anyways, that's just one aspect. If you look at the Venus, she is, again, gorgeous, but she does not fit the beauty standard today. She is just, yeah. People, if you were the Venus today, people would tell you, the culture would try to tell you that you need to be toned. She is this soft goddess creature. And that's not what society tells us we need to be. So I really want you to look at art. If you look at Marilyn Monroe, she does not look like the beauty standard today. She is still considered one of the most beautiful women who ever lived. And just look at art. Look at art through the ages. Look at art through the cultures. They're all so different. And these women are all so incredibly beautiful. And I think it's important to challenge ourselves. Why do we think that this is beautiful? Is it something objectively beautiful as in healthy? Or is it something that is ingrained into the culture to think is beautiful and desirable? I don't know. Number two, I want you to explore your personal style. Your personal style with how you dress, with how you do your hair, with how you cut your hair, with whatever, right? How you express yourself externally. Because, again, I think one of the ways that we fall into the trap of the beauty standard is always having to dress trendy and keep up with the trends and dress modern. And I think that it's important to dress in a way that truly expresses who you are and your personality and reflects the dignity of the human person that you are. It reflects the respect that you have for yourself and the respect that you should be commanding from other people because of the inherent dignity that you have as a human person. Okay? So, listen, if the world is obsessed with gold right now, gold jewelry, I want you to ask yourself if you like silver, right? Not necessarily to be countercultural, but just to make sure that you are not falling into the trap of having to be like everyone else, to be like everyone else, to feel like you are relevant and beautiful. No. Listen, go thrifting. Go find some weird stuff. Go find some really cool earrings that are just interesting, right? Find a sweater that is a little weird but really cute and you love it and you're gonna wear it all the time. Like, find things that truly express who you are, something about you, and focus on those things. Find the colors that complement you, right? If white is in the summer, or I don't know what color is in the summer. I have no idea. Is it red? I don't know. Last year was yellow, I think, right? Butter yellow. If you love butter yellow, go for it. But if it's just the color that's the fad and it doesn't suit your skin tone, why are we wearing it, right? Don't fall for the lie that you need to be like everyone else to be beautiful, to be relevant, and to have worth. I want you to really dig into who you are and what you like. And whether or not this thing is an expression of your own personality, okay? Because your personality is worth knowing. My love, you are so beautiful. And I am sending you so much love from here because as another woman, even though I know all these things and I'm still actively learning about these things and dismantling the lie of the beauty standards slowly, piece by piece, I still struggle with all of these things on a daily basis. Okay? So I don't think that struggle is going to be one and done. I think it's going to be a lifelong struggle as we evolve and as we change and as the times change. But I am here for you and I love you and I'm on this journey with you. Okay? And I would love, absolutely love to hear your thoughts about this episode, about the podcast, about the beauty standard, about your struggle with these things. Listen, I want to be your bestie. I want to be your friend. I want us to chat about these things. Okay? If you have thoughts about what the podcast should be, what we should talk about, I'd love to hear them. All right. I'm praying for you as always, and I love you, and I'm so grateful that you are here with me. All right. I'm sending you so much love. Bye bye.